Hi, welcome to the market alert for Friday, the 9th of January 2025. So bullion and black gold bid, bonds and big tech skid as Friday's fears loom. So what are those fears? We'll look in just a second. Stocks mixed and bonds hit ahead of NFP. Well, there's your answer. Non-farm payrolls. They're the big deal for today. 1:30, we've got the non-farm payrolls, which we looked at yesterday, previous 64 and forecast at 66. So obviously they're looking, and the focus is on how well those numbers are going to actually come out. So let's have a look at the markets for yesterday and kick off with the Dow. So after Wednesday's down day, Thursday the market reverses. We're getting into a bit of a churning situation here. It could even be distribution where they hold the market on the highs while they offload. Certainly a big spike in the volume for yesterday, that's for sure. And we are reaching a point of being overbought once more as well. Also, if you wanted a bit more, I will look at the fib retracements there as well. And you'll see that the market's currently trading back at 62%, well, between 62 and 78 as well. I will need to get through this level and then the recent high, which is the all-time high, to get to that 50,000 psychological level. 30-minute chart, we just exploded to the upside yesterday, which you can see. Market there overnight also just sitting below the close and in a very tight range, and I'd expect this to continue throughout the morning until we get to this how the market's seeing it. Very important news at 1:30. Meanwhile, in the German DAX, the catch-up has happened over the last few weeks, and we're now sitting at all-time highs. During yesterday, we're at 25,223 with no sign of this stopping. You can also see the increase in volume as well as the market's driven higher. So is this just retail buyers moving the market to the upside? That's a lot of volume moving the market. Also note it's been overbought as well for some time as well, particularly in this area. But at the moment, there doesn't seem to be any sign of the market wanting to give up those gains. 30-minute chart, so we were on the upside, we then pulled back, and then we went back once more. Overnight prices have pulled back to the DP, which is always a comforting area. And also we've got the 50 EMA there as well, which is usually a good indication as well. So we could actually go on to make a new all-time high during today's session as well if those NFP numbers are positive. And in the S&P 500, also trading sideways yesterday as well. Let's just make this a bit bigger so we can see what we've got. Again, I'd be inclined to draw in from the recent high to the low of yesterday to get some indication of what strength the market's got. What I mean by this is the market, if it is to move up, it's got to trade through this 89 area and then through the recent high, which is also the all-time high as well. But first of all, it would be the 78.89 level. Again, we have a lot of volume here as this market is trying to hold, and in particular the fact that there is a lot of supply coming into the market there as well. And supply can be absorption volume, so it looks like we may be having a bit of absorption of a few sell orders there. 30-minute chart, unlike the Dow, very choppy from the start of the cash session, and the market there moving up and making the high there, not a new all-time high, but the high in the sort of cut-off, and then the market's shown profit taking down to the DP. And also you can see how tight the moving averages have become overnight as well. So it could break in either direction, but I suspect, again, if the NFP numbers are positive, the market will be moving sharply to the upside. Again, the volume in the FT100 as well. Obviously, this is the return from the festivities where the market has seen an increase in volume. The stochastics have actually crossed over, but again, all you need to do to measure the momentum to the upside is to draw in the fib retracements from the recent high, and then you can get an idea of that momentum. You can do this in any time frame, but if you do it in the daily chart, then when you go intraday, you can actually do exactly the same and actually fine-tune these sorts of levels that you can see there. But there's the all-time high. It's a question of whether the market will actually hold, and it's done managed to make new all-time highs this year, despite the carnage. And of course, now there's talk of Rachel from accounts changing her mind, U-turn, with regard to pub rates, which are horrendous if you've seen any of the stories. We're not just talking 100% increase in some of the rateable values, but 300, 400%. It is just absolutely insane, and it's tens of thousands of pounds. Where there's, you can understand why pubs are closing down on that basis. But anyway, intraday, that's what you can see for yesterday. It's very choppy mid-morning, waiting for the Dow. US markets managing to move the market a bit higher, but it was after the close on the electronic session when the market moved to the upside. Again, that high is not the all-time high, but it's the high of yesterday, and that's where the market would like to take prices. So the US dollar continues to move to the high based on what Trump's doing at the moment. You can see there we've got a lot of green moving to the upside at this time. Not back at the 100 level yet, but I wouldn't put it past it. It's saying that though, we've got to get through this resistance here to the left. We'll just have to wait to see, but it's having a bit of an impact on the metals at the moment, so let's have a look at those. Just before we do that, let's have a look at the silver prices from the east, and you'll see there we're at 81.80. This is a physical market, and that's the current price of silver. So let's have a look and kick off with that one. So yesterday we had another down day, and you can expect a sideways to lower would be my guess, because next week the Bloomberg Silver Index is going to be rebalanced, or I don't know if it's a commodities index or the silver index. It's a silver index, and they're going to rebalance it, so you could actually see that being used by the paper market to send prices lower. And also, of course, today the NFP numbers will also play a pivotal role for the banksters at the moment that can't get enough of trying to short the market, despite the fact that the physical has massive demand. So we'll just have to wait and see at lunchtime. But at the moment, it's moving to the upside. But yesterday, if we go to the 30-minute chart, they just couldn't help moving the market to the downside, particularly between 1:30 and 2:30, which you see there. You see the buying coming back in, and then the market moving back to the upside. Meanwhile, in gold, nice and steady, which you can see there. If we just draw in the retracements, you'll see that we're at 78%. We've got a bit of resistance there at the moment. Looks like the downside there is not happening at the moment, so let me just remove this. So we're through 62, got a bit of resistance at 78, which needs to be taken out, and then hopefully take out the 89 and get back to the all-time high there, 4549. 30-minute chart from yesterday, again you can see the buying coming back in, just to shake out at 230 for the, actually it might be 130 that one, yes, 1230 actually. 1230 shake out, and then the market moving back to the upside. Need to take out the close and the high of yesterday. So let's have a look at the gold silver ratio, and this currently is 57. We've seen this move up for the last couple of days. If silver is to get any sort of move and momentum back to the upside, then we will see this move lower, but at the moment we're stuck in a bit of a sideways move, but then so is silver, stuck in a sideways move, and that's not a bad thing. Consolidation and a bit of a pullback is a healthy situation with regards to new major bull markets, which is what we're currently seeing in the metals, unless the bankers get full control back and start slamming the prices. So like I say, be warned of this next week with the repricing of the Bloomberg Silver Index. Right, let's have a quick look at the markets for yesterday and the 2-minute DAX. So in the German DAX, in the pre-market, we moved to the upside, and then we moved to the upside, which you can see as soon as the cash market came online. And that's how it panned out until we got to the R1, and then we had a potential sell signal where we see the market then come all the way back down to the high, where they try to find support at the high. So a nice move to the downside all the way down to the close and the 200 MA, where you see a bit of an increase in volume there, and then prices having the shakeout and the volume coming back in and buying the market. You can see all the green there inside of the red. Prices then become sideways, fail to hold above the 200 MA and come back down and get retested at the DP. And another look at the DP, and again all the way through there until we break the DP and then back through the DP there and start moving back to the upside. It was a very choppy afternoon, as you'll see here. The market trying to move to the upside following the big move in the Dow back to the 200 MA through there, and then becoming sideways once we got back to the high, which you'll see in the moment. 3 consecutive losing trades as the market went short, then decided to reverse, and then decided to come back down, buy back in, which you can see there, then put in another potential buy signal, which it too actually failed as the market came back. So very horrible late part of yesterday's trading session, which comes every now and then. Fortunately it's not a daily occurrence, but irritating nonetheless. So where are we overnight? Let's just have a quick look. We're moving to the upside. No surprise there. There's yesterday's high, which is the all-time high in the German DAX. I'd expect this to be done before you actually see the market alert as we get into 7 a.m. with the futures market driving prices higher. Right, that's it for this one and for this week. So have a great weekend. Keep an eye on those NFP numbers at 1:30. And with that, as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.